Very good evening and welcome to the India Association ground here in Singapore for game number 4 of the Singapore Tri-Nation T20 International Series powered by Instagram. Game 3 was a very exciting one. Let's go and find out what happened at the toss.
Indian Association here in Singapore. Much clearer skies, the sun just setting, perfect conditions for an excellent game of T20 cricket. Round 2 of the Singapore Tri-Nations T20 I brought to you by Instagram, and it's going to be a repeat of match number 1. It is Zimbabwe against Nepal, and I have the two captains. I have Sean Williams from Zimbabwe, Paras Katka from Nepal, and I have Mr. Narayanan Kutty, the match referee as well. And we are in readiness for the toss. It's going to be Sean to toss the coin. Heads the call from Paras, and heads it is. So Paras wins the toss. Paras, you decide to.
We'll have a field.
We'll have a field first. Change in tactics because all three captains decided to bat first the last time.
I think it's a fresh pitch, so we feel that it might stop a bit. Looking at the other wicket, I think after the first game, the next 3 games are played very well. So today, it's a fresh wicket. So hopefully, if our bowlers can put up a good show and restrict them to as low as possible, we back ourselves to chase the score.
You had a near perfect game against Singapore. You would love to repeat that?
I mean, any given day. But having said that, it's a fresh game. Everybody has to start all over again. I think the game's gone already. It's
the Zimbabwe captain in just a short while, but action just about to get underway here as Nepal are going to be bowling against Zimbabwe. Remember, Zimbabweans won that first match on Friday evening. And we've got some team news as well for us, Tino.
Absolutely. 4 changes for Zimbabwe, 1 forced through injury, of course. Timson Maruma suffering from a strained quad. So Peter Moore comes in to replace him. Garava, after his debut game the other evening, will go out, replaced by Tendai Chitara. And then a debut man, Daniel Jekyll, to replace Wellington Masakadza. We're looking forward to see him with the new ball. And then the young man getting his T20 international debut as well, William Mashinge, to replace Neville Mdziva. Ball changes. Ishan Pandey, the left-hand opener who struggled so far in the series, be replaced by Pawan Saraf. So here we go, ball 1.
Mind you, of course, for those of you who have been following us over the last few days, welcome back. Good to have you rejoin us. And for those of you who've just come in today, a very warm welcome here to the Singapore Indian Association ground in Singapore. Sandeep Lamichhane getting us off. Tell us a little bit about these two batsmen.
Brian Cherry, explosive. For those of you who managed to see him in the first game against Nepal, raced along to 18. Big appeal, that won't be given out. Oh, it is! It looked to me like that was way outside the off stump. The umpire doesn't think so. And he's given Brian Cherry out here. Disappointed is he, but another early breakthrough for Sandeep Lamichhane against the Zimbabweans. Brian Cherry goes for naught, Zimbabwe naught for 1. PJ Moore, new man in. He replaces Brian Cherry, who was adjudged LBW to Sandeep Lamichhane. Lamachani, the last delivery, it looked outside off stump to me. It looks like he got an inside edge as well.
Start for Lamachani, regardless. Let's get your thoughts on that decision.
Yeah, it looked to me like it was definitely outside the off stump and like he got an inside edge. Certainly wasn't disappointed, Brian Chowry.
Lamachani is bowling a lot in this series than he was a couple months ago. 1 for 1 after the first over. There's the batting lineup for Zimbabwe today. As mentioned already, 4 changes for the Zimbabwe team after that stunning loss against Singapore on Sunday, which has really caught the imagination of the cricket world. Massive achievement, of course. First time they've ever beaten a full member at outdoor level. Has been done at indoor level, which I'm sure we'll chat about later, but at the moment Zimbabwe in a little bit of early trouble here. Sushambari at the other end, club end.
Bang! He plays the spin as well, PJ Moore. He likes to take them on over the top. And for a man who has faced one delivery in the whole series, that oozes confidence.
Well, there's a little message, isn't it? For a man who's not really played very much.
Oh, that's a great shot, isn't it? It's gone across the line. He's got absolutely all of that delivery.
So clean.
PJ Moore, absolutely. Well, he's certainly letting the bowlers know his frame of mind early. 38-6 in the tournament.
You covered the first game as well, didn't you, Tino, between Zimbabwe and Nepal, and I think you were a little concerned with the way that Nepal approached that game.
Down the ground this time for one.
good over so far for Zimbabwe after that early wicket of Brian Chari. Nice little comeback here in the second over.
Just a single then to end the over. A good one for Zimbabwe, 15 from it, 16 for 1.
Mixed start for Zimbabwe. Two very different overs we've had so far, Tino. Has provided us entertainment all round.
Absolutely early breakthrough, which is what Paras Katka would have wanted. Really good innings. Sorry, really good over. Second one for Zimbabwe. 15 runs from it. It's going to be Karen Casey. Flick down the leg side. That's unfortunate for the keeper. Awkward bounce just in front of him. Leg by signalled.
A little bit surprised they've already made that change, that bowling change.
I wouldn't say surprised. I think Paras Katka wanted an early wicket. He got that from Sandeep Lamichhane. I think he's also just seen PJ Moore getting after the spinners, striking the ball well. Haven't seen much turn from Lamichhane like we did early when he bowled in the last game. So he's probably thought, maybe let me just try and pull back the reins, hold him back for later on in the innings. Maybe he might take him to the end where the second over was bowled.
Chakova comes out. He means business. Probably seeing what his partner's doing at the other end. Doesn't get anything for it. A little bit of improvisation. Work out for him.
Looks like KC Curran picked that up because he's just rolled the fingers over that slower ball. That's probably got the ball to just bounce over the stumps. Had it been the regular delivery, possibly wouldn't have bounced so high and gone over that leg stump. Played the shot a couple of times the other night, Regis Chakaba. When he gets it right, gets value for his shots.
A couple of balls down leg side already. It's full, isn't it? For any pace bowler out there. You can see fights. Last time this series, Zimbabwe are batting first. And so, what are they aiming for? You've talked to the boys over the last few days. How's that?
Well, obviously, disappointed bunch after the performance the other evening. If you look at the first game against Nepal as well, it took a massive partnership at the end between Burl and Tumbami to get them across the line. So, Sean Williams has made his intentions pretty clear in the last couple of games that he was happy to chase. He wanted to bowl first in both of those first two encounters for Zimbabwe. They'll be looking to get a big score on the board. They would have seen the other night when Nepal chased 150 in just 16 overs against Singapore. Paras Katka, that wonderful 106 in just 52 balls. They would have seen how they were going the other nights until they threw it away. So they know they'll need a very decent total on the board. 181 the other night, but that was only in 18 overs, not in 20. So I'm pretty sure they've said to themselves, listen here guys, batting first, new surface, we need to make sure we can get ourselves 190 plus here.
By the way, I'm just getting news that Pinot Pandare, the Nepal keeper's got a slight hamstring strain, so he's not moving particularly well. Just keep an eye out
snuck in there. He's very lucky, Regis Chakapa, to get bat onto that and get it past the man at 45 for 4. So, ends off well the over. Another good one for Zimbabwe. 3 gone, 29 for 1.
Poor captain Paras Katka, obviously feeling this is the way to go right now. No, it wasn't so good last over, was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Paras Katka has decided to take the spinners off after that devastating second over. PJ Moore took to the spinners, 15 off it, after just 1 run in the first over, bowled by Sandeep Lamichhane.
Ball coming up now. What did you make of the wicket today?
It definitely looks a lot drier than what we've had in the first game between these two teams. It's because obviously we've had 3 games in a row, and that was on the pitch next to that, number 2. This is number 1, and it just looks like a batting surface again. No grass.
Quick single, nicely done. Yeah, Tino got a chance to go look at the pitch beforehand, like he always does before every match. Does a little inspection for us.
Yeah, very similar to what we had the other day. Those cracks show you just how dry the surface is, and no grass. It just looks to me not going to get too much turn from this either. It's a real good batting surface. We know that teams like to bat second here, chase like what's happened in the last couple of games.
An appeal in that last delivery, not given. Bell's ball so far. Decent line of length. I think that's causing the batsman too much trouble, but you want to keep that run. He's gone for the big swipe and he pays the price there. Chakapa heads, and they've got their second wicket.
I don't know if he has to go across the line here. Mid-on and mid-off are both in the circle. All you need to do is get good bat on it, and it's going over those guys with a minimum of fuss. Yes, go over the top, but not across the line. That'll be disappointing for the Zimbabwean change room, the manner in which that Richard Chakapa has gone. 3.4 overs in, Zimbabwe now 30 for 2.
Zimbabwe captain Sean Williams is in. Welcome to the match. That last dismissal. Line.
He'll be disappointed. Looked good in the last game. Regis Chakava, the change from spin in the first couple of overs to spin in the next couple has worked for Paras Katka. It's another wicket from Sompal. And a really good second over from him. One run from it, one wicket, that of Regis Chakava. Zimbabwe now 30 for 2.
Been a mixed bag here at the Singapore Indian Association in these first 4 overs. A couple of 2 very good overs for each side. 30 for 2 we are. Here's Lamichane. Oh, he's made that appeal. It's a pretty strong one. Did that seem like a stronger appeal than the previous one?
That certainly looked more out to me than the one of Brian Chari, but it has turned into the batsman slightly. The umpire possibly just thinking that that's going to be going past the leg stump. Big appeal. Looked very nervous, PJ Moore.
Well, that makes it all the way. He's far more comfortable for them, isn't he?
The ball is pitched up from the spinners. PJ Moore is going to go for it, whether there's a man back or not. He's got long arms, big levers, and he takes advantage of that. So 36 for 2 now, Zimbabwe, but he won't stop if that ball is pitched up.
He's gone for it again. Not quite got the connection. In fact, that last 6 he got was the least cleanly hit one of the 3 boundaries that he's scored so far. He's going for a shot.
He is indeed. Like I said, Zimbabwe would have seen that all 3 teams winning here. I've seen that in the second part of the game. It's very, very difficult to defend scores here. PJ Moore wasn't in the Zimbabwean side that toured Bangladesh prior to this. He's got a point to prove.
Nice ball there from Lamichane and Sean Williams. First taste of that. I think this is going to turn into a rather interesting match.
Nicely played by Sean Williams. The key for me is the manner in which they played this man, Lamichane. Paras brought him on to open the bowling in the last game because he needed early wickets, got those early wickets and pegged Zimbabwe back 28 for 4 at one stage. After having a whirlwind start, I think 12 they got in the first over. Brian Chari was looking good. But the manner in which Zimbabwe play this guy is what's going to be important. Singapore made sure he didn't get wickets. Bowled him, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant. It's the googly. And he's brought him forward, PJ Moore. Gap between bat and pad. And that's all he needed, Sandeep Lamichane. We're talking about it's important about how Zimbabwe play him. This time he's gone for the forward defensive PJ Moore. And the ball sneaking through that gap. 5 overs gone. Zimbabwe 38 for 3.
commentary with and Navneet Krishna.
Thank you, Shazad. Great delivery from Sandeep Lamachane to get rid of the dangerous PJ Moore. It's been brilliant tonight. Got the opening wicket, he's come back, got rid of the danger man. Zimbabwe 38 for 3 after 5. And good to have Nav in the studio as well, joining me. Good evening, Nav.
Very good evening, Adrian. You probably have to say that it's Nepal that have drawn first blood here in the first 5 overs, 38 for 3. Fantastic strike there from Sean Williams, and he's well on his way. A good-looking cover drive, final over before the power play comes to an end, and he's taking full advantage with an offer. He was happy to find the gap on the offside through covers, races away.
Has a big job to do tonight, does Sean Williams. Has to lead from the front. Rebuild. Needs a partnership here, Zimbabwe. It's been a terrific start by Nepal, though. I mean, we saw how good they were with the ball last time these two sides played, and how effective Sandeep Lamachane was. And he's proving once more how dangerous he is with the ball.
Yeah, it was possibly the best bowler we've seen in all of the Singapore Tri-Nations from Sandeep Lamachane to get rid of Peter Moore there. You're watching a genius at work, ladies and gentlemen. Sandeep Lamachane finding the gap between bat and pad, clipping the bails. Sheer artistry this from Sandeep Lamachane. What a talent he is. And that certainly has pegged Zimbabwe on the back foot. Driven to covers once again, this time finds the fielder. The onus on the captain, Sean, again, Adrian.
Yeah, we see that he has quite the responsibility tonight, as he did the previous night. Needs a partnership here with Mutumbotsi. His captain needs him out there in the middle. Stick around. We've seen some great partnerships in this Tri-Nation series so far, and he needs one here.
That's too cheeky from Sean. You don't want to be running for that. That certainly would have been curtains and wicket number 4. Mutumbotsi doing the right thing by telling the captain, hang in there, buddy. Very disciplined effort from Sompal Kami this evening into a second over. He got the wicket of Regis Chakabwa on what was a very unnecessary shot in the context of the situation. And he's kept his line, his length. Worked well for him so far.
Been brilliant. Set him up perfectly. It was a nothing shot from Chakabva. Big appeal. Nothing given.
An optimistic appeal, you'd probably have to say. That was certainly drifting down the leg side. Take another look at this. Actually, on second thoughts, possibly a little closer than I thought it was.
I was just going to say that. Looks, at first glance, it didn't look that it was going to crash in, but I guess with ball tracking and other technologies, maybe a better insight into that delivery as Sompal Kami comes in for the last ball of his over.
Sean Williams happy to tuck away the last ball of the power play just for a single, and it comes to the end of 6 overs with Zimbabwe 43 for 3.
Back live once more. Zimbabwe 43 for 3 after 6 overs. End of the power play as Avinash Bahara comes into the attack.
Want to be careful when you're playing Avinash Bora. Obviously slingy action. He's a lot faster than you think he is. Very nippy off the pitch. And watch out for those toe crushers because he loves bowling those Yorkers.
There's been some assistance for the pace bowlers tonight. I mean, we haven't seen much of it this series. Really getting some assistance off the pitch. Not as much as magician Sandeep Lamichhane.
It's been the Lamichhane factor once again, Adrian. It was the Lamichhane factor 4 nights ago on opening day here in Singapore, and he was all over the Zimbabweans. And guess what? It looks like it's a repeat in the little that we've seen so far. 2 fantastic wickets. One you'd probably have to say could have gone either way, the first one, but the second one, an absolute peach to get rid of more.
What a great story Sandeep Lamichhane is. Plays his cricket all over the world with the Melbourne Stars in Australia, the Delhi Capitals in the IPL. Now he's here representing his country, Tri-Nations tournament here in Singapore.
Yeah. Not to forget the Barbados Tridents very recently in the Caribbean Premier League. Very big figure in the Everest Premier League back in Nepal as well. So the man loves his T20 cricket. Plenty of action that we've seen in the little over 6 overs that we've seen today. Plenty of action on Twitter as well. Good to see. Engagement on the social media handles as well as Sean Williams drives one comfortably down the ground. As always, happy to take questions from folks around the world tuning in. Happy to read out some of the best tweets as well. So you want to be doing hashtag Singapore Tri Nation and hashtag Nepal versus Zimbabwe, NEP versus VSZIM. Leave your tweets, questions, comments, and we'd love to read them out. It's been an entertaining evening so far here in Singapore. Very difficult to read this pitch like Paras mentioned at the toss.
It's a completely different pitch to what we saw the other night. Big scores. Then again, we've just come to the end of the power play. They need a partnership, build an innings. Sean Williams, the captain, brilliant last night. What was the case? He just ran out of partners.
Drifting down the left, way onto the steep square leg boundary, easily by Mutambotsi, just the single though. 7 overs completed, 47 for 3. We've already seen a few tweets coming in about Avinash Bora. We know he's a talented bowler. Vikash Thapa says, Avinash has been doing great work at the death. Still feel he's not utilized well enough by the captain. I hope to see him completing his 4 overs. And getting a few comments, similar comments from quite a few folks. And probably rightly so, because Avinash has been economical in the little that we've seen so far off him. But he hasn't completed his quota. Interesting to see if Paras actually goes through with Avinash for the 4 overs today.
Yeah, it will be, but we've talked a lot about Sandeep Lamichhane, but how about Sompal Kami? How good has he been tonight? Picking up that crucial wicket, economical, only conceded 6 runs from his 2 overs so far. He's getting that line and length on point tonight as well. Been brilliant.
Sompal Kami has got to do that all over again. It is a little bit humid, certainly is a little humid today, but good conditions for a game of cricket.
Yeah, I was just outside a little while earlier. Quite pleasant. Too high. Ambitious appeal by Sompal Kame.
It almost felt like that was the action replay of the Regis Chakabwa delivery. You don't want to be playing across the line. Sompal Kame is quite nippy off the pitch, so it comes in a lot faster. Batsmen beaten for pace. They're playing down the wrong line as well.
I think Mutimboti just getting a bit frustrated with himself. Not able to get to the other end. Give his captain strike, but you're right, we don't want to see a repeat of what happened to Chakabva. Zimbabwe are in trouble. They don't want to make things worse.
Very disciplined effort by the Nepali bowlers today. Sean for a second probably thought that was rolling onto his stumps. But you're coming back to the Nepali bowlers. Sompal Kame, Sandeep Lamichane, Avinash Bora. They've all been very disciplined, not giving too many extras away. The fielding's been on par as well. All in all, a very good team effort by the Nepali players today.
The captain hasn't brought himself onto bowl either, so we still have to wait for that. We've seen what he can do with the bat the other night. Explosive innings.
We haven't seen Karan Casey as well.
We haven't seen Karan Casey as well, but they just have so many options.
And as a result of the loss of the early wickets for Zimbabwe, Captain Sean Williams will have to lead the rebuilding phase here. And it hasn't been easy. Runs have been hard to come by. We're into the 8th over. Touch under 50 the score at the moment, 49 for 3. So obviously a little from how the other games have gone about. We've been seeing runs. In fact, the last game we saw over 10 runs being scored for 36 overs.
Also the first time Zimbabwe are batting first in this tournament. Also the first time. Big appeal. As we take another look at this delivery.